and the topic is offloading and footwear, which is very important in the management of diabetic foot. Diabetes mellitus is a biochemical disease, and a large number of lower extremity complications are due to biomechanical dysfunction. Biomechanical abnormalities are a consequence of neuropathy, and they lead to abnormal foot pressures. Foot deformity and neuropathy increases this risk of ulcerations. So pressure relief is an essential for wound healing and also preventing the reoccurrence. So appropriate footwear significantly reduces the recurrence of ulceration. As Dr. Freiberg rightly said, diabetic foot ulcers frequently occur on weight-bearing areas of foot which are subjected to high foot pressures. Relieving these pressures, that is offloading, on ulcerated area is absolutely crucial in treatment of diabetic foot ulcers to prevent further trauma, reduce pressures and shear to the area and facilitate wound healing. Most important key treatment in the management of a podiatrist is adequate offloading. The insensitive feet form unfelt and unperceived pre-plantar pressures, which is responsible for precipitating and perpetuating plantar ulcers. An ideal offloading should give prevention for ulceration, protection to the wound. It should be easy to apply. It should have able to inspect the wound, and no interference with mobility, cosmetically acceptable, safety, and increased acceptability among patients. And the aim of this offloading is reducing the peak plantar pressure, both vertical pressure and horizontal shear stress at the plantar surface, and at the same time allowing ambulation. So the mechanism is to redistribute the peak plantar pressure over to a wider contact surface area of the foot. So the pressure bearing area is increased locally, and which drastically reduces the peak plantar pressure areas. Now there is international risk categorization system, and which gives us which kind of offloading and footwear is ideal at what stage of the diabetic foot problem. There is category 0, 1, 2, and 3. Category 0 is with no neuropathy but having diabetes. In that, any kind of normal footwear is fine. But once category 1 is patient with neuropathy, but there is no plantar ulcerations or deformity, but still they need a protective footwear depending on the plantar pressures. Category 2 is neuropathy is present, history of plantar ulcers, there is deformity, and there may be some peripheral vascular disease. At that point of time, depending on the individual patient's problem, custom-made molded orthotic devices may be necessary. And the last category is category 3 with a history of ulceration. These patients with history of ulcerations are a higher risk for repeated recurrence of ulcerations and higher risk for amputations in the future. And they definitely need custom-made orthotic devices depending on the that individual patient's problem. So we have various modalities for offloading, starting from simple bed rest in the initial stage after a surgical debridement, to wheelchairs, crutches, total contact casts, felt foams, half shoes, therapeutic shoes, custom splints, removable walking cast, etc. You can classify into two types. One is removable and irremovable ones. And the most common irremovable ones is the total contact cast and the modified total contact cast, which is with window. And the removable ones are the removable total contact cast, air cast boot, the charcot-resistant orthotic walkers, patella-bearing AFO, angle foot orthosis, modified footwears, foot orthosis, and other indigenous techniques. In selecting an appropriate offloading device, we have to achieve effective offloading in a timely manner to facilitate wound healing. In Charcot foot, it helps to minimize the risk of severity of deformity. And a selection of offloading device must always be undertaken with the consultation with the patient and to achieve good compliance. There are good meta-analysis showing different kinds of offloading and the benefit each one gives in terms of pressure relief. And you can see this. And to just tell you the summary of this, that is, the total contact cast is the gold standard, and all the others also have definite offloading benefits for wound healing. And this is again different meta-analysis showing the benefit of different offloading devices in terms of time taken to ulcer healing and also pressure relief. And total contact cast definitely has got the highest benefit. But here's a meta-analysis comparing different offloading, and it shows that the total contact cast, which is irremovable, has got good benefit, but they've done studies and shown that even removable total contact cast or modified casts total contact cast also can give reasonable good results. These are other offloading devices which I said: the air cast boot, the total contact cast, the felt foam, the wedge shoes, etc. A few words about total contact cast, which is the gold standard in the treating of non-infected neuropathic foot ulcerations. The cast is well molded with minimal padding, allowing total contact with the lower leg and foot. By molding cast material to the foot and the leg, weight-bearing forces are spread along the entire surface of the contact, thus substantially reducing the vertical force per unit area and thus giving the benefit of offloading. This is how it is applied. Because of the lack of time, I'm not going into the details of how it is being applied. But indications, it is used in non-infected wounds where it is neuropathic ulcers and also in acute Charcot foot. And contraindications, we have to make sure that there's no severe infection and there's no severe peripheral arterial disease. In Charcot foot, it is a very useful tool and it is helpful in the acute stages of Charcot. And it is very important to diagnose the Charcot foot at the earliest stage itself. And the gold standard in the management of Charcot foot still is offloading and with the total contact cast. And this is the benefit of doing total contact casting in a Charcot foot at the early stage, and you can completely stop the progression of acute Charcot foot from one stage to the chronic stage. Now, a word about modified total contact cast with window. This was a study done by my good friend Dr. Ghanshyam Goel, and he found that it was useful. And I have also tried it, and it's found to be very useful in healing ulcers. This is using an MCR pad inside the insole, inside the total contact cast, and creating a window at the ulcer site. We are able to give a necessary offloading at the same time visualizing the ulcer and giving the daily dressing, and thereby the ulcer heals. So this is a case where patient's ulcer was not healing for a long duration of time and was treated by many doctors, and you can see the patient was put on this total contact cast with the MCR insole inside with a window, and patient was dressed with this, and he was able to mobilize, ambulate with this, and you can see the wound closure after about 6 to 8 weeks. Again, this is another toe ulcers which was not healing, and again it was mainly a neuropathic ulcer. The vascularity was normal. And again you can see the total contact cast with window was applied, and you can see after 3 weeks and after 6 weeks the ulcer has healed completely. So these are indigenous methods which have been tried by our colleagues here in India and has been found successful. This is removable total contact cast which is biweld, and you can use in different stages of Charcot, and then also in other cases where ulcers also you can use and thereby get the same kind of benefit. This is an ulcer which you can see the total contact cast with the window and the ulcer healed. So here's another study which showed 3 different modalities of offloading of neuropathic ulcer, a multi-center prospective trial, and the study showed that removable and removable, both the offloading devices were safe and acceptable in giving offloading to our patients. A word about felt pads. These are useful padding systems, not freely available here, but which is used abroad. These are pads which can be used in small ulcers, and you can give offloading to that ulcer area. This is the Samadhan system, which is also being indigenously developed by some of our colleagues here, where you roll a foam and keep it under the below the ulcer area, and patient is covered with a plaster covering, and then he is made to walk, and it gives offloading and the ulcer heals. This is the SK, similar kind of principle. Again, these kind of indigenous methods have clearly shown that when you give offloading to that ulcer, small ulcer areas, definitely the pressure, peak plantar pressures at that ulcer area is reduced, and thereby it promotes wound healing. You can see this, the wound healed after this system of offloading. So you can see here the Samadhan system or the SK system by Dr. Goel, where you can either use a foam rolled up, and with a pad you can cover it, and also you can use gloves which can be rolled up and used, and you can get the same benefit of offloading. Again, in hindfoot ulcers also you can use the same kind of indigenous methods, where the ultimate aim is to make sure at that point of ulcer there is a peak plantar pressure and you are offloading that area. Again, the midfoot you can give the similar kind. This is apart from other modalities of treatment like debridement, antibiotic, all those other modalities of treatment has to be given. Apart from that, offloading is a very important tool in the wound healing process. So this is again a midfoot ulcer with this offloading system, the Montagny offloading system, and you can see the wound has healed. Now after the wound has healed, again there are chances this can again break up. So you have to give different kind of shoes to this foot, these foot, because either you can give wedge shoes during the stages of healing. Also after the stage of healing, you can give wedge shoes where you can reduce the pressure area to that area where there is higher recurrence chance to that ulceration. Now there are also insoles available, 3-layered molded insoles available now. There are now scanning machines, pedopodogram machines, which can find the peak plantar pressures or the plantar pressure areas where there are chances for ulceration, and depending on that pressure mapping, you can definitely develop these kind of insoles and reduce or redistribute the plantar pressures, thereby reduce the chances of recurrence of ulcers. This is midfoot shoes, wedge shoes, and hindfoot wedge shoes. This is again to show you the different wedge shoes available. Now that we have talked about offloading, I want to speak a few words about footwear, which is also important. Even before the ulcer develops. If we can give ideal footwear to your patients, we can prevent many of these ulcers forming. So footwear in diabetics should do what the foot cannot do. And it has to redistribute the high plantar pressures evenly and reduce the shock and shear forces. It should accommodate and stabilize and support the deformities and to prevent excessive movement in the footwear. The shoes should have wide toe box, extra depth, appropriate insoles should be there, heel counters should be there, rigid outer sole, and rocker bottom adjustments in certain cases to reduce the pressure areas. So this is the different aspects of footwear, the extra depth of the accommodating insoles, the tough heel counters, the light and tough weight outer soles, Velcro closures, high wide toe boxes, and also the padded inner surface. And then insoles are also important in a footwear. 8 to 10 millimeter thick, must distribute the pressure equally over the forefoot, and areas of stress isolation should be possible, should not bottom out over a period of time, and should protect high foot pressure areas. Different type of insoles are now available. Microcellular rubber is the cheapest, and there are other things like EVA insoles, closed cell foam, polyurethane, etc. are available. Silicone gel insoles are available. So all these insoles distribute the pressure eventually and reduce the peak plantar pressure to a particular point. Now there are total contact orthoses which may be also very effective and useful in deformed foots, and where high plantar pressures are seen, you can use this total contact orthosis, 3-layered total contact orthosis. It relieves the area of excessive plantar pressure, it reduces the shock, reduces the shear, accommodates the deformity, stabilizes and supports the deformity, and limit the motion of the joints. So different materials are used, and there are 3 layers which are used. The top layer is soft and moldable polyethylene foam, the middle layer is closed cellular or rubber polyurethane foam, and bottom layer is cork or dense polyurethane foam can be used. So 3-layered molded insoles are found to be useful in redistributing the plantar pressure and reducing in deformed or deformities in foot. So these are molded insoles available. You can custom make it depending on the individual patient's problem. And another aspect in the management of diabetic foot is rocker outer sole. So this is also effective in reducing the plantar pressures. So the rocker sole is this which is being shown. If you have high pressures, the commonest area of high pressure is the metatarsal heads. And if you give a rocker, mid-foot rocker or a forefoot rocker, you can reduce that pressure area at these metatarsal head, and thereby the chances of ulceration, the chances of recurrence, all can be reduced in patients. So this is just to show you the effectiveness of rocker sole, and different rockers can be given depending on the ulcer, like forefoot, midfoot, hindfoot, etc. Rockers can be given. Patella bearing ankle foot orthosis is also very useful in management of diabetic foot, especially in Charcot foot, where you're giving an offloading to the plantar aspect of the foot or the heel. It utilizes the prosthetic socket design to load the body weight through the anatomy around the knee joint. And in flail angle in diabetic foot, this is a very useful modality to make the patient mobilize and be on his foot. Now this is a little expensive model which is called the Aircast boot, which also has got benefit, and now it is available in India, and it has got 3 balloons inside, and you have a pump, and you can inflate the balloon and give the necessary offloading to these pressure areas, especially the forefoot areas. Now there are stress relief pads. Different kinds of silicone pads are available depending on the deformities, like bunions, like callus forming areas. You can give these kind of silicone pads and reduce the pressure areas. And there are clawing of the foot or metatarsal um, uh, head, you're having recurrence of callus formations. These kind of metatarsal pads and can reduce the pressure areas, especially at those areas and also at the tip of the toes. So these are pressure relief pads which can be used. In rocker bottom foot, you know there is a deformity, and in case it's a mild form of deformity, you can give these kind of felt pads and reduce the pressure into that area, or surgical corrections also can be done. Also, wedge cut insoles can be used to relieve pressures. These are insoles where you can cut depending on the area where the pressure area is more, or there is chances of callus formations, and reduce the pressure area at that area by giving wedge cut to these insoles. These are silicone toe caps. Many a times patients go into clawing of the foot, and at the tip of the toe they can develop ulcerations, and these kind of silicone caps can be used for reducing the pressures. Now there are prostheses many times after the toes are amputated. For cosmetic benefits, there are now prosthetic toes available. But important point I want to show is this: toe fillers has to be given to these footwears, because unless you give a toe filler after an amputation, the toes can migrate and get deformed, and recurrent ulcerations are possible with these deformed foot. So toe fillers have to be given once the toe is amputated. Now, word about Hawaii chapels, I think we should strictly advise our patients that these are not advisable in diabetic patients, especially with neuropathy, because to hold those Hawaii chapels, slowly the foot will go into clawing, and then recurrent ulcerations are possible. Shoe fitting is important. We all know that wide toe box is important. So incorrect shoe fitting also is a problem, and wrong shoes should be avoided, and ideal footwear, which I was talking about, should be advocated in all our patients. And also, well-fitting socks also is useful in our diabetic neuropathic patients, which will reduce the shear force by 30% and reduce the chances of ulceration. So a deformed foot with good footwear is just over. With a preferable footwear, with a good footwear, is preferable to an amputated foot with a sophisticated prosthesis. This is flail angle with Charcot, and with angle foot arthrosis, he is able to walk without any problem. If offloading of the affected foot is not done to the patient, it goes into recurrent ulcerations, infections, septicemia, and he can even walk to death. So it's very important. Offloading has to be given, and it's one of the main cornerstones in the management of treatment. And also early detection and protection of high pressure areas in foot, and corrective footwears and orthotics is only strategy to prevent foot loss, and one of the most important strategies in the management and preventing foot amputations in our patients. Thank you.